everyone, welcome back to another great episode of Raihan's Cuisines. Today we're going to be making an Instant Pot Nihari, and this Nihari turns out absolutely delicious. The main reason is because we're not using box stuff. I don't understand why I would make a video and use box stuff. I went ahead and did my own ingredients, own spices, and I'm telling you, follow this recipe, it turns out amazing. If you make this, go ahead and hashtag Raihanascuisines on Instagram or Facebook. I'd love to see pictures of it. Today's video credit goes to Sumaya. She is recording for us, so thank you, Sumaya. And then you guys know the drill. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the notification button. I am posting every Fridays. So without further ado, if you want to know how to do this, let's go ahead and get started. So the ingredients we're going to require to make our homemade Nihari is as follows. So here I have about 3 pounds of meat. Now I know the traditional Nihari is made with boned meat, but I have a real problem of finding boned meat here, and I won't cook with a lot of fat. So this is ribeye, and I'm cooking with the ribeye today, but you can use whatever meat you like. So this is just it, okay? So we got 3 pounds of meat here. Now I got here a large onion that I have diced up pretty fine. We're going to be cooking that. We're going to be sauteing that in 5 tablespoons of olive oil, and I'll get that. Then I have here is a tablespoon of ginger and a tablespoon of garlic that is fresh. We're going to be using that. I have 3 tablespoons of yogurt, and you want to use thick yogurt if you can, so that's there. Now for our spices here, I'm going to get this out of the way here just a bit so I don't put my scarf in it. So for our mixture here, we're going to do 2 things. One, we're going to be cooking roasting some of our spices here. So I've got about a tablespoon of fennel, which is saunf, and so I'm going to be putting that in the frying pan so you can see. So that's going to go in here. I have a tablespoon of cumin. We're going to be putting that in there. We're also going to be putting, I've got about 7 or 8, but my black peppercorns are very, very tiny. So I have more. We're going to be putting that in there. We're going to be doing 2 cinnamon sticks, which we'll do in the oil. I like to cook that in the oil. I've got 2 red dried chili peppers. We're going to be roasting that as well. So this is going to be stuff that we're going to be roasting. For just the powders, I have here 3 tablespoons of paprika. This is what's gonna color our Nihari. It's gonna give it a really nice color. In here, I've also mixed a tablespoon of Kashmiri red chili powder. Now, I am going to try my Nihari in the end and see if I need to put in more spice. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add some more cayenne in there. So you can just play around with the taste. I just don't wanna add a lot of heat in it right now and then be super, super spicy. Got a tablespoon of garam masala, got a teaspoon of turmeric, and I've got a tablespoon of coriander. Now, if you were to have whole coriander, you can put it in here and you can roast it in here as well. I've got salt to taste. I have here fresh cut chopped coriander that we're going to use to put on top, and then I also have some ginger that I have sliced up thin that we're going to add on the top on top too. Now here I have gram flour or chana nulot. This I am using because I have, again, gluten-free. I'm making this gluten-free. Now if you were not you didn't mind that there was that you had to make gluten-free, you can use white flour if you like, but I made a test Nihari yesterday and I used the gram flour, and honestly, you can't tell. In fact, I really liked the consistency of that. So that's gonna go, we're gonna mix this up with water. We're also going to be using a total of 3 cups of water, which I will show you that we're gonna put, 2 in the beginning, half is gonna go, to mix up this. And so I'll go ahead and I'll talk about that. So let's go ahead first, get our crock pot, start frying up or sauteing our onions. So I've got I'm going to be doing the 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Now I know that a lot of people add a lot of oil in the Nihari, but honestly, when I tried my recipe yesterday with the between 3 to 5 tablespoons of olive oil. I think I did 5 yesterday and I had a lot of oil sitting on top. I thought I can get away with 3. My family doesn't really want so much oily foods, so that's why I brought it down to 3. Now, this is a new pot for me because my pot actually stopped working yesterday, and so I couldn't film yesterday. So this is a friend's pot that I have using. So what we're going to do here is we're going to turn it on to saute mode, and I'm going to go ahead and add my onions in here, and I'm going to cook the onions until they're really nice and golden brown. While the onions are cooking, getting really nice and golden brown, I'm going to add my cinnamon stick in here because I really like the smell of the cinnamon stick when it's in there, like the cinnamon in my nihari. So I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to let this go. I'm going to let this cook and get really nice and brown. In the meantime, let's go ahead and roast these spices. Let's get this going. Now, we're not going to add oil or anything in here. We just want to get this really nice, and you're going to start smelling those amazing aromas that's going to come out from the cumin and the fennel. So once we get this really nice and toasty, we're going to go ahead and blend this mixture. We're going to be adding this to our nihari mixture. All right, so here we go. I'm just going to transfer it in here. And I have a really bad cold today, so if I'm sniffling, that's the reason. I'm trying really hard not to here. All right, so this mix is ready. Let's go ahead and see what our onions look like. So you can see here that our onions have browned. Now they're not super dark, and that's exactly where I want it, because now I'm going to add in that ginger and garlic, and I want to cook the ginger and garlic in the oil. So if you've seen my prior videos, I always do that because I honestly feel that the taste really gives it a very deep taste when you do that. Try that for just a couple seconds here. Now I'll add the grinded mixture that we made. I'll add the paprika. This is exactly how I want it. You see how thick this is? All right, garam masala goes in, our turmeric, coriander powder, I just want to cook the spices up just a little bit. Now we're going to deglaze the pan by adding our yogurt in here. At this point, I'm also going to add a little bit of salt in here. And we'll adjust the salt later on, so I'm not going to put too much in there. Now let's start putting our meat in here. At this point, you want to do a little taste test and just make sure you've got your salt and the mixture is really nice and tasty. Okay, so I added the 2 cups of water in here, and I think I'm going to do another half a cup because I think I have more water, less water, more of the meat. Okay, so we'll do another half a cup of water. There goes in the other half. Mix all this together. Let's cover it up. All right, so we're gonna close that. We're gonna turn this into sealing mode right there, so that's sealed. We're gonna come back here at meat. It's at 45 minutes. I'm gonna bring that down to 30 minutes, and we're gonna let this go for 30 minutes. When we come back after 30 minutes, but before we go, let me show you something. So here we have our gram flour, and what I'm going to do is I am going to mix about a little bit of water in here. Just you want to do a little at a time. The slower you do it, the less water you put in, the better it is, because it's not gonna clump up. So I'm gonna add a little bit more water, and I'm gonna keep this ready. So once we are done and our meat is cooked completely, this is what we're gonna add in there to make our curry nice and thick. So you can see here that we're at 9 minutes. I'm gonna do 9 minutes, it should be okay. Let's go ahead and pressure release. So let's go ahead and open this up. Keep our fingers crossed. Look at the color. Now, as far as the meat, I want you to see. Look at how it's breaking. That's perfect, absolutely perfect. So at this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put it on saute mode. The reason why I'm doing it saute mode is because we want to thicken this up a little bit. So let's go ahead and cancel everything. Go back in saute mode. And what at this time, it's pretty nice and hot. So what I'm going to do is that mixture that we made with the gram flour and the water, I'm just gonna add that in here. Do you see how this is bubbling really nice? And we've got it really nice and thick to the point where I like it. It's not super thick, but it's not thin either. So this is exactly where I want it. So now let's go ahead and dish it out. Our chopped coriander, just like so. And then we are going to take our ginger slices. And we're gonna throw our ginger slices right there on top. I'm telling you, the house smells amazing right now. And so our nihari is ready, and I'm super excited because when you don't use the boxed stuff, you can control the heat. For you guys know that I have issues with heat. I can't have too much spicy stuff, so I can indulge in this without the naan, but I can indulge in it with my salad, and it wouldn't be, you know, super spicy. So I want you to take a look here. I'm gonna do a taste test, but I also want you to take a look at this meat. Look at how beautiful this meat looks. Look how it's just breaking. So you take your naan, and if you have not watched my video on how to make tandoori naan, I will put that up here. On the link on the left hand side. Sorry, just lost my thought here because my mouth is salivating. Wow. It's so good. I don't remember the last time I made nihari and I enjoyed it so much. I made nihari yesterday for the trial, but it ended up to be a little bit more spicy. That's why I altered my spice level here. And this is something that I can eat, and it's super delicious. So thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Raihana's Cuisines. Hope you can join me here next time with another great video. See you then, friends.